Carey's clothes and threw them off the Chain of Rocks bridge. He says Richardson then raped Robin.
It was a case that cried out for the death penalty.
He never intended anybody to die. He stood there and watched what happened.
Richardson was convicted of first-degree murder in the killing of 20-year-old Julie Carey, but only second-degree murder in 19-year-old Robin's death.
The judge will ask the jurors to decide between life in prison with no parole or death.
Why is his life more important than my children's? Of course he needs to die.
It's clear Antonio Richardson will die in the Missouri correctional system. What remains unclear is just how soon that'll happen.
This call originated from a correctional facility.
I think last night was the worst night I ever experienced in my life. I had a dream that they took my life, and I watched my mother and them cry, my grandma break down, and, you know, I ain't been to sleep since.
I'm Gino Battisti. I've been Tony Richardson's attorney since 1996, and I've been working on his case ever since.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing all right. You see me on the news last night? They was talking about the case.
There's going to be a lot of interest in this case. So, you know, we're going to have a real roller coaster ride.
Okay, because I can't see myself sitting in here for the rest of my life.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you for saying that.
So, you know, I told my grandmother yesterday, you know, that if they not, you know, if that man not going to talk about giving me a new trial, telling me I'm going home, then I ready for this to be over with.
I know.
Welcome back, my friends. Radio 97.1, St. Louis's FM talk station. Listening to the Dave Glover Show. Today we're going to talk about a person who's on death row. Antonio Dantel Richardson. We'll be calling him Tony. Well, you know,
These cases are always tough, fighting to simply keep your client alive. Tony is my third death penalty case. My first two clients were executed. Part of my strategy for Tony is to keep his case in the public eye.
You remember back in 1991, when we had the murder of the Carey sisters on the Chain of Rocks bridge. Well, Antonio, along with two others, was convicted of the murder. He is sentenced to death. We're anticipating a date will be set in a couple months, okay? I'm joined in studio by his attorney, Gino Battisti. Gino, thanks for being here, my friend.
Thank you, Dave.
And right now, I'm going to ask Gino to bring us all up to date, go back in time, and give us the facts of this case.
Back in 1991, Tony Richardson was 16 years old, and he had been out with a friend of his by the name of Reginald Clemens. They met up with two other people that night, a guy by the name of Marlon Gray and another individual by the name of Danny Winfrey. These guys went out and they were doing some partying. About 11:30, 12 o'clock, they decided to go to the Chain of Rocks bridge. Around the same time, Julie Carey and her sister Robin wanted to take their cousin, Thomas Cummins, who was visiting St. Louis, up to the bridge. The Careys get to the bridge with their cousin, and they meet up with Richardson, Gray, Clemens, and Winfrey, and they exchange pleasantries. They go their separate ways, and later on, they cross paths again on the bridge. At this point, according to the testimony at trial, and according to what my guy says, the sisters were raped, which was just an incredibly horrible situation. At that point, according to Tony Richardson, Marlon Gray punched one of the girls, knocked her into the water. Clemens threw the other girl into the water, and Cummins was told to jump from the bridge. He jumped, and somehow, by the grace of God, he climbed out and lived. And unfortunately, the sisters, they both drowned.
What did the other guys, did they roll over on him and try and blame Tony for some of this?
Correct.
Okay. Was there an opportunity? I mean, a 16-year-old kid, and there's an issue about a diminished capacity.
Correct.
Was he given the opportunity to plead?
He was, and that's one of the unfortunate aspects of this whole situation. Now, number one, when you're 16 years old, I don't know how you could even begin to fathom a deal like that. But certainly someone who is 16 and borderline mentality is in absolutely no position to make an intelligent decision on whether to take a plea for life, and he did not take the deal and went to trial, and the rest is history.
Just the fact that he was there and it happened, that's how he was found guilty.
That's correct.
Gino, where does it stand now?
What I'm really trying to focus on now is the clemency proceeding, and where you basically go to the governor and ask for mercy.
Since Missouri reinstated the death penalty in 1976, the governors have granted clemency only twice. In this habeas work, you're basically given a case that's been through the court system, and your task is to go out and undo at least one major mistake. And I don't feel that the work is thankless. I do feel, though, that sometimes the deck is stacked against you. Sometimes the death penalty has more than one victim. It's really rough on the families. You know, it reminds me there's more than just the client out there. His mom and grandma and his brothers. You know, all these people are affected by the case. Every one of them. Here we are. Tony's mother knows that an execution date could be set any day now. While we work through the legal system, all I can do is try to keep her spirits up. We could hear tomorrow that he's got a date. We could hear tomorrow and they would set it in 30 days. They're not using any method to set these things. I don't want you to dwell on this, but I want you to know that at any time now we can get word. So when it comes, you can be somewhat ready for it.
I don't think I ever be ready for that.
Okay.
I don't think I ever be ready for it, no matter what.
I'm working every day on the case, all right? Okay.
Should I say no?
All right, thank you.
Sean O'Brien.
Sean, Gino.
Gino, how you doing?
Good. You got a few minutes?
Mm-hmm. So where do things stand at this moment in Tony's case?
We had cert denied on May the 15th.
Right.
The state filed the next day a motion to set the execution date. We've now exhausted nearly every appeal in the court system to overturn Tony's death sentence. I'm obviously in the middle of putting together a tremendous amount of records on Tony to present to the board and to the governor on the clemency proceedings.
The other thing that we should be doing at this stage is identifying people who care about our issues. In Tony's case, I mean, he's a juvenile, 16 years old, and he clearly has mental retardation.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who care enough to contact the governor about that issue.
Right. Well, let me get going on this.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks.
All right, bye-bye. It seems our best chance now is to try to convince the governor to grant clemency to a retarded 16-year-old offender.
Today is September the 12th, 2000, and they about to execute a guy up here, George Harris, and I ain't been sleeping well. Everybody down because, you know, every time, you know, they get ready to take a person's life, that affects a lot of people because we have grown to know these guys for a period of time, and it's like they like family. It's like losing a brother. Most of the time, you know, when they do execution, I stay up until I find out what happened. You know, if they executed this person or not. You know, everybody think that everybody's on death row is bad people, and it's not true. You know, I'm hoping that they get mistakes. So, you know, I ain't looking for the worst for them. I'm looking for the best for them. That's it.
Yeah, take that out for me. It should be doing that. Take it out. I'm going out and get the rest of this meat from out here. It should be ready.
Tony's grandmother, Irene Ramsey, tries to keep the family together.
Since Tony has been on death row, it has been very stressful. Whew. None of the family were prepared for the system. None of us knew how it worked. We didn't know where to go, what to do, how to ask for help, or who to ask. Gwen, my oldest daughter, is Tony's mother.
You all right?
Tony's hard on her.
Yeah, it got busted.
Because he know what his childhood was like and what some of the things that was going on. And he wants his mother to do good. Hello.
This call originated from a correctional facility.
Okay.
Grandma,
Huh?
let me talk to little Tony, okay?
Tony. Tony calls at least 2-3 times a day. It becomes very, very expensive, but it's almost impossible for me to say no.
Daddy, remember that letter I sent you? When you gonna...
This is Tony's only way of being a part of the family. If we got to the place where I could no longer afford to pay the phone bill and he could not call, that would cut him off completely from the family. And I don't think he would be able to survive if that would happen. We are his lifeline.
First, let's go to Kathy, 97.1. Thanks for calling, Kathy.
Most of the people in the world today seem to be out to punish people. They don't ever have any kind of compassion.
Why should a person get a free pass on a brutal rape and murder because he's retarded?
Hey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Come on back. One of Tony's trial attorneys was Kathy DiTraglia. It was her first death penalty trial. Her mistakes may ultimately cost Tony his life. Kathy, if you could go back to the trial and do it over again, what would be the one thing that you would change?
I've held myself responsible in a lot of ways because I think the one important thing that I would change, and it relates a lot to sort of the savvy of Nels Moss, the prosecutor, and how it's so important to have experienced defense attorneys, not just people that are doing their first penalty phase, to face experienced prosecutors. But he argued for a hung jury in that case because he and I had conversations with Judge Kerr about how Kerr was saying, I don't buy this defense that this kid is a child and that he didn't know what he was doing and that he had a hard life and therefore we should punish him. And really, I think Judge Kerr saw it as we should excuse the behavior. And that's not how we intended it. We intended it to say you punish different people differently. You punish your 5-year-old different from your 10-year-old, different from your 20-year-old.
I'm convinced that if an expert testified about Tony's limited mental abilities, the jury may not have found him guilty of first-degree murder, and he probably would never have been sentenced to death. If you had called Dr. Wrangham in the penalty phase the first time, that it really would have made a whole lot of difference. He's going to say, 70 IQ, borderline retarded range, organic brain damage.
I think part of it is, would he have created an alliance amongst the jurors that would have said, okay, fine, we're going to make an exception for this kid, even though we feel very strongly about this crime.
Did you think or consider putting Tony on the stand to tell his story?
This goes back again to experience. I mean, I don't know that I wish I had. I wish I had at least considered that as a possibility. He was not functioning as a 16-year-old. He was functioning more like a 12 or 13-year-old.
That's something that you can talk to the governor's people about.
Yeah.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
So I'm asking you to fall on your sword a little bit here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm happy to. I guess I always struggle, though, with this isn't about me, this is about Tony.
I think you could really, really help us on this. When the time comes, Kathy's agreed to help us persuade the governor to grant clemency. I've got to believe it will make a huge difference having Tony's trial attorney admitting that she didn't do her job at trial.
And we go now to Donald. Good afternoon.
He was articulate. He could speak and everything. He wasn't retarded. Usually people show remorse, and usually get religion in jail, not just denying it all the way.
This is the only thing I make for our family gathering. Sweet potato pie. With Tony's trial, he was guilty already in the judge's mind, in the jury's mind. There were no witness called on Tony's behalf. All they did was cross-examine the people that the prosecutor had. Now, that's not a trial for somebody on trial for their life. 3 days. But then I learned their main focus were they wanted him to plead guilty. Tony asked me, what should he do? He was only 16. I didn't want to tell him to plead guilty, and he spent the rest of his life in prison, and then he blamed me later on for telling him to do that. He kept telling me that he didn't kill anyone, and he didn't want to say that he did, and spend the rest of his life in prison for something he didn't do. So I just couldn't encourage him to do it. Whether it was right or wrong, I couldn't do it. Didn't seem like the right thing to do. For the last 10 years, it has been horrible. Just feel like any moment, or if anyone touched me, I cried.
This call originated from a correctional facility.
Today is November the 2nd, and someone killed himself, and the guards told us about it. A guy named George Poole killed himself with a rubber band last night. Most of the time, you know, if I have thoughts of committing suicide or whatever, I think about my son, and then I call somebody and talk to them because it's hard sometimes. It's hard to deal with.
As I build our case for clemency, I'm trying to get one of the jurors from the trial to tell me what happened in that jury room. The jury was deadlocked on whether or not Tony Richardson should get the death penalty, so the judge alone decided Tony's fate. I've tried to get Joyce to meet me for months. Finally, she's agreed.
I want to thank you so much for coming down here. You have no idea how important this is. Let me tell you just a little bit where I am and what I'm doing here and why we're meeting. It's my understanding that you had doubts. You never thought Antonio pushed anybody off the bridge. At least they never proved it.
Right. That's the whole thing right there.
Okay. What I am trying to determine, and I'm going to let you tell me this, okay? Is what happened in the jury room.
Some of the girls broke down and cried. They went through a lot of emotional changes. And
the deliberations, they cried?
Yeah, they were very emotional. Then the guys got together and said, well, we're going to run this. That's how I felt. To me, they already made their decision what they were going to do. And what really angered me was they took some of the girls off and talked to them. The foreman and the guys and two of the white females that was all for it. Some of them changed their minds. He couldn't get someone to change all the way, and then they broke down. I'm like, what are you doing? I see a lot of racist stuff going on, and I don't appreciate it.
What did you hear as far as racist remarks?
You heard that black did this to these young white girls, these beautiful girls, this and that and that. These mother, this and that. I mean, they just went on, and we were like.
The foreman was upset because he wanted the death penalty so badly.
He would have did anything for it. And he started throwing stuff across the table and hitting the desk. And then the sheriff came in a couple times and said, what is going on, what's going on? He said, oh, nothing, everything's cool.
If you can tell me that just you alone never voted in favor of finding any of these aggravators, I can take your statement and it can help me to try to save Antonio Richardson's life.
I can say that. I didn't agree with any of it.
Now let me show you one other thing I have. This is an affidavit. Why don't you take a look at this for a minute and tell me if that's something you could say I could sign that. Truthful? Can you sign it for me now?
Sure.
This could add another compelling issue to our case. Let's hope it makes a difference.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Best Talk in St. Louis.
I'm really tired of these thugs who actually outlive the jurors who tried them.
He's getting 3 square meals a day as opposed to, there are other people that don't even have it that good. And the 2 girls had no defense. They didn't give their permission to die. And I think the compassion should go with the victims.
What he did was a terrible thing, but to be mentally handicapped as well, and then for us to tell him, hey, guess what, buddy, you're going to die.
These types of issues, he needs help, not death.
There needs to be closure to this case because Joy and Carrie don't have a life.
Every year, you know, around Christmas time when you began to shop, it's always a sadness. that one person is not going to be there. And it's been that way for 10 years now with Tony. He's been away. And it's really sad, especially when I shop for his little boy, which he has never in his life had a chance to even shop for a pamper, a bottle, anything. He tries to be a father to little Tony as much as he can, you know, being away. He tells him, I don't want you to end up like me. Trying to save his life is giving him a chance to really realize what life is and what you should do and what you should not do if you don't want to end up fighting for your life the way that he is. So I think he focused a lot on that.
They moved a lot of guys, and they got 5 empty cells, and they said they was holding for dudes who getting dates. I know I'm on that list, so it's scary. I think about my son every time, you know, that even come up in my thoughts that what they're trying to do to me. How would I be able to explain that to them? How would I be able to tell them that Daddy got 30 days to live? That's tough.
The Supreme Court called here and said, we're giving you a heads up. We will read him this morning the warrant of death. And that's apparently where the warden of the prison or his representative comes down to the cell where the inmate is kept and reads him a piece of paper that says, you have been sentenced to die, and you are sentenced to die on March the 7th, 2001. Now on this day, appellant Antonio Richardson being in custody pursuant to a sentence of death heretofore rendered against him by the Circuit Court for the City of St. Louis and affirmed by this court, it is therefore considered, ordered, and adjudged by this court that Antonio Richardson on the 7th day of March 2001 shall suffer death. I talked to him probably within an hour of the warrant being read to him, and he sounded very good, actually. I was surprised that he sounded as strong as he did. I thought that he was going to take it a lot worse. We've known for many months that this was on its way. It was inevitable. The day was coming, but really caught us by surprise.
Knowing something is going to happen, and then when it happened, it just makes it harder. I think that Tony's 25 years old, and 10 years of his life is already gone. And just to think that within 3 weeks, perfect, healthy young man will be put to death.
Yourself. To whom it may concern, my name is Gwendolyn Williams. I am Antonio D. Richardson's mother. I'm writing on behalf of my son. There is many reasons I'm asking you to save my child's life. My son was 16 years old at the time he was charged for a murder. There's so much that people don't know about that night. So I'm begging you to spare my child. Please look at his case carefully. Antonio really just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I love my child, just like the girl's mother, Gwendolyn Williams.
Step to this metal detector, please.
Man, you look like a gorilla coming around that corner.
I do? I scare you?
Nah, how you doing?
This is my serious face. So how you feeling? Are you okay?
Nah, I'm doing all right.
However,
There's not a day that go by that I don't think about, the girls, and it's not a day I don't pray for them. I know it has to be hard on their mother. In my mind, I can hear them, and how scared they were. I can hear their mind screaming, begging for a life. It's nothing that I can say or do to change what happened. If I could, I would.
I've been praying for him for about a week. It's been really upsetting me that this execution is going to happen, because I really have no desire to see him dead.
I was stunned when the victim's mother asked the governor to spare Tony. I've never tried to contact her, so when I saw her on TV, it was a real surprise.
Wish the governor would listen to her.
I just asked him to call me because I wanted to talk about the stay of execution for Antonio, because he was just a kid. He was just a dumb kid.
Well, that took a lot of guts to do that. That lady is just amazing. I mean, for her to get on television and say that, that's just unbelievable. I mean, what's the governor going to do with that?
I don't know whether I could ever be as strong as she is. She's a strong lady. Because if that doesn't carry any weight with the governor, because now her husband and other family members are against it, but a mother's word should count.
When the order to proceed is received from the governor's office, the inmate would then be placed on the gurney. The curtains are opened and the blinds are raised, and the witnesses can then see the inmate. Then there's a manual injection of the drugs through an IV line into the inmate. And so it is a very short period of time before he's pronounced dead.
Remember, as we prepare our hearts and minds, continue to pray for Mildred Highshaw and Lisa and the loss of their son. We ask you to pray for Kenneth Thomas. We also ask you to remember Antonio Richardson in your prayers today. He is on death row and scheduled to be executed, I believe, on the 7th of March. And unless the governor intervenes, he will be executed. It could be your son. Okay. It could be your brother. That's right. So we ask you to pray for the Gibson Ramsey family this morning. Amen. We're going to...
It was nothing but a baby. He didn't know.
Our case gets some national press less than 2 days before Tony is scheduled to die, from New York Times columnist Bob Herbert.
Cycle of death. The death penalty is a pathetic and pointless exercise, a sadistic cycle. Oh, this is great. Gotta fax this to the governor. I think it makes a difference that they say the Times wrote a very strong piece about this. It conveys the message, we're watching you. We're gonna really watch what you're doing here. We're gonna see what you're all about. And let him know. I mean, if he thinks this is going to be done quietly and no one's going to know about it, So let's see. With every case I've been involved in, I visualize the end of the case, and I visualize that the Supreme Court of the United States is going to grant relief and stop the execution, and that's what I work for. When that happens, when that moment comes, we're going to celebrate. Cordon Rouge. So what I've done from my first case to this case is I go out and I get a good bottle of champagne, and I get ready for the celebration that I'm looking forward to. And I didn't get there yet. I didn't get there yet, but I'm going to get there this time. I'm going to get there this time. Now the waiting begins. For the family, this is the worst part.
You mean she got a no-smoking room?
Ms. Grace say, how was Tony?
He's about as well as we can expect him to. He's a little nervous, but other than that, he's okay.
She said he acted about well as expected. He's a little nervous. Yeah. So let me go ahead and call my brother right quick, and I'll call you back a little later. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, all right, I'll talk to you later on. Don't call me too late tonight, though. I'm going to sleep. Don't call me too late.
Irene returns to her home in St. Louis, and the rest of the family gathers in a couple of motel rooms near the prison as the hours count down.
I don't think people really understand what people goes through when they say death. It's horrible. Man doesn't have the last say. God has the say so.
After midnight, I already filed papers with the Court of Appeals to stop the execution. Before it's all over, this case will go back to the United States Supreme Court. If they turn us down, our only hope is the governor.
It's just not right. It's not right to do that to another human being. So, we'll still go on believing that.
But, how long can your folks stay with you tonight? 7? Okay.
Before the execution.
Court of Appeals. One-liner. One-liner. You can give us an opinion. Okay. Let's call, wait a minute. Get a stay of execution. Appellants file a motion called a mandate and a motion for a stay of execution. The motion for a stay of execution is granted. Penny. We gotta stay. Congratulations.
Oh, my God.
Holy, the execution has been stopped based on the mental retardation issue, but the state will certainly appeal this decision to the Supreme Court. I'm confident they will turn down the state's appeal and will be home free.
Antonio Richardson, please. This is his lawyer calling. Tell him it's good news. Tony, guess what happened? We won in the 8th Circuit. The stay of execution is granted. To remain in force pending the decision of the United States Supreme Court in Penry versus Johnson and until further order of this court.
All right.
It's not 1,000%, but it's a big step. So let's see what they do.
Okay.
I'll call you back. All right, bye. Yeah, they'll file something, so we gotta hang on. It's not over yet. Guess we should call the Supreme Court.
Gino?
Yeah?
Michael Gans, U.S. Court of Appeals. Do you want to talk?
Yeah. Hey, Mike. I'm doing great. Got the order. What does he say? They're gonna go to the Supreme Court on this. The AG's going directly to the Supreme Court. So, we got one more hurdle. It's all going to come down to what the issue that they took the Penry case on is.
They'll be up there within the hour.
On the night of the execution, Mr. Richardson can request a last meal. We offer the inmate a sedative after he's eaten. After dinner, we go ahead and lock the inmates in their cells. We then pretty much wait, talk to the governor's office and the attorney general's office to ensure that there are no stays and that the governor indeed has ordered us to proceed with the execution.
Irene.
Yeah?
Oh, hi, Gino.
Hi.
I got good news.
What?
The Court of Appeals stopped the execution.
Hallelujah.
Now,
What happens now?
well, the Attorney General is going to take the case up to the Supreme Court of the United States. So, I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet. The Supreme Court could reverse it. I don't know what they're going to do.
With 5 hours left before the execution, Irene wants to go on TV to make another plea for Tony's life. I figure it can't hurt.
Tony Richardson, who was sentenced to die tonight at exactly 1 minute past midnight, has just been granted an 11th hour stay by the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. Irene Ramsey is Tony Richardson's grandmother. She joins us now from St. Louis. And here in studio with me is Tink Cummings. She is the cousin of the two girls. Tink, how is the family reacting to first the execution and now the stay?
It's 10 years of grief. It's all back. It's all resurfaced. I think we all have very mixed views on the death penalty, but really what I take issue with, especially in the recent media, is that everyone seems to have forgotten the victims.
I understand that very, very much, and so does Tony. I understand, especially the girl's mother. I know she went through something that she will never get over. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But we are also going through something that we will never get over.
The last family visit is over and Tony has served his last meal. Now only his minister, who is also his uncle, will be allowed to stay with him.
You have to be pleased with the stay, I imagine. Are you a friend of the family?
I'm his uncle.
Okay, uncle. Okay, so you have to be pleased with the stay, I imagine. Talk to me about that.
Well, we're pleased with it right now. Right now, nothing is final. And at the present time, we really don't want to go into too much more detail. We're staying prayerful.
How is Antonio doing?
But right now, he's doing good.
You're happy, you're hopeful. What are you feeling at
We're
this point?
hopeful right now. We're going to stay hopeful until it's all over. We have our faith in God, and we feel that God is going to see us through this.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
No, we're still waiting. Should be pretty soon.
Waiting around the office is almost unbearable.
Right.
We know the state is challenging the stay in the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington.
Correct. We haven't heard anything. So the Attorney General just filed a reply about 15, 20 minutes ago. I would think by about 8:30 we're going to hear from them.
This is really tough on the family. At this point, all they can do is wait until midnight.
I'm sorry, baby. Come on. I am so sorry. I ain't seeing none of you. It's all right. Everybody's starting to break down. What's wrong? Why don't you go hug Carlos? Yeah. Hug him. Oh, baby. I know you're tired. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. I know you're tired. It's gonna be all right. We gotta be strong, Carlos.
Gino Battisti. Yeah, I got 4 hours to live. He knows he has to stay, but I told him that it could be overturned and that it could all go away. So we rejoiced for 30 seconds, and then it's, the reality hits in. Okay, well, they can appeal this. Let's not get too excited.
All right. Keep your eye on it. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I counter the state's appeal, but I also have to be ready to fire one last round just in case we're reversed. It's called the cert petition, where I'll ask the Supreme Court to stop the execution and rule that it's unconstitutional to execute the retarded. But it's a long shot.
Put the certificate of service on the page by itself.
Okay, and we need Exhibit A, which is the order.
Right here.
Got that.
Mm-hmm.
We cited to the Eighth Circuit case where they talked about Penry Lockett and Eddings. The panel talked about it. We cited to the cert petition and the habeas before the court where we raised these issues. Okay, we talked about everything we can talk about that. All right, next thing we got to do is fax this to Cynthia Rapp.
I know I have her fax number. It's on this. It's on my arm.
Let me tell her it's on its way up.
Antonio's mother, and I'm just called and the line's busy. Is there a way that you can get through that so I can talk to him?
It's on an island. Hidden from the sea. Imagine, you got beer.
Thank you.
You know, whenever...
She can't do that. She can't let them know that we're trying to call her.
Yeah. So what do you think about that story, Richard?
Okay, baby. Visualize a victory.
Why don't you get up in the bed, baby? How you used to that?
You know. Winnie Gwen, though.
Gino Battista. Yeah. The court granted the motion to vacate the stay. Yes, please file it, and I'll fax it to Steve Hawk. All right, I'm here. All right, bye.
Oh, shit.
Vacated it. Granted it. Man. Now they're considering the cert petition. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus.
If you blind right, you just blind. Yeah, you need to go in the other room. Yeah, okay.
But at this hour, Richardson is coming closer to dying. A few minutes ago, the U.S. Supreme Court vacated the stay, bringing Antonio Richardson closer to execution at 12:01 tonight. For now, Richardson waits in the death cell here at Potosi, but there is still one appeal before the U.S. Supreme Court, and Governor Bob Holden could still intervene.
What that mean?
That means that they turned
What that mean? Come on, somebody tell me what that mean.
I didn't hear
What did they say? They said that the Supreme Court vacated it, but now Tony's attorneys are still dealing it, is what they said. So they might mean they returned. What happened? What happened, Gwen?
This is Gino Battista. I'm Tony Richardson's lawyer. Can you please put me through to him? I shouldn't have gotten so excited before. We're done. Clemency now. We're gonna get 5 justices on the cert petition. Tony, I got bad news. Supreme Court reversed it. They took the stay away. So the Supreme Court's considering the other cases that we have filed up there. And then that's going to take them a while to rule on it. And then we got to go to the governor for clemency. They voted 6-3 against us. Tony? Tony?
Give me a light, somebody, please.
Gina Battisti.
Yes, Gina, how you doing? This is Keisha Wells, Tommy's sister.
Okay.
Hold on, here go Gwen.
Hello?
Hey, Gwen.
Gina, what do that mean?
We got bad news. They reversed the decision to stop it. So we're back up in the Supreme Court, and then we're going to go to the governor. So don't give up hope, okay?
All right.
Okay, I mean, I don't know I can't tell you anything else right now, but the Supreme Court reversed the court that stopped the execution, so it's still going to go forward unless we get the governor involved. That's the only thing I can realistically hope for right now. I'm sorry. Okay?
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
That was terrible.
They don't do this execution.
It's not too late, Gwen. Don't give up. It's in God's hands, Gwen. It's in God's hands. It's not too late.
Don't give up, Gwen. Don't give up.
You had a 50-50 chance on that. Flip of a coin.
It's not too late, Father. We're still not giving up, Lord. It is not giving up. Lord Jesus, Lord, you've shown us examples in the Bible, Father. Now show out, Father, in the name of Jesus. You've shown us examples in your word, Father, that you're faithful. We need it right now, Father. We need one right now, Father. Miracle. The ram in the bush, Father, in the name of Jesus.
These are very sad cases. You think about the victims in the cases and their families, but these people have families too, you know? Okay. 2.5 hours.
Stand strong. That's it. I know, it's hard. Stay strong. That's it. Didn't nobody get Tony on the phone.
No.
You got to talk to him. Is there any way possible that we can get to him? This is his mother, and I've been trying for the last half hour. Hi. Baby, we praying. We praying. I don't know if I'll be able to talk back to you one night, but I love you, okay? I love you, Tony. We all love you. Okay. Bye.
She says the rumors are not true. A winter nor'easter is pounding.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
It's coming right down the wire. Well, we're not done running through the court system yet, so we got about 2 hours. So I've got a habeas petition and a cert petition that's up there. And I've asked Justice Thomas to stay the execution again and pending these cases. But it looks like it's going to be the governor or nothing. Okay. 11:45 probably. We got 2 hours. Bye-bye.
There's a love, there's nowhere to be found. But there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away.
I guess I'll call the governor's office.
The U.S. Supreme Court has overruled a request from Richardson's attorney to stay the execution. Fox News' Chris Renier joins us now live from Potosi with the latest. Chris?
Well, Manny, Richardson's attorneys have filed yet another challenge to that execution with the U.S. Supreme Court, and the justices are considering that right now. Meantime, prison officials here just wait.
Right now, we will continue to proceed with our checks and our routine procedure, but we do not make a final move, and that is take the inmate out of the holding cell, place him on the gurney until we have the final word from the courts that there is nothing further to block the execution, and then the order to proceed from the governor's office.
At this point, it appears the execution will take place tonight at midnight, correct?
Yes, Mandy, unless this final application, which is a writ of habeas corpus, basically challenging the execution because of Richardson's mental state, is given the go-ahead by the High Court. But right now, it doesn't appear that way, since the first application was overruled 6-3 with only Justice Ginsburg, Breyer, and Stevens voting for the application.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Gino Battisti. What? They granted a stay. The Supreme Court? Oh my God. This can't be. Oh my God. Okay. Can the AG file something and challenge this? Woohoo! All right, you fax that, honey. Thanks a lot. All right. Bye. Ho! Ho! Oh my God! They're gonna take the cert petition. They're taking it on Penry. Woo! I want to talk to Tony Richardson, please.
Hold on, please.
They took the cert petition. You gotta be kidding me. How would they have done that?
I'm sorry, the line's busy.
You gotta get through. Lady, miss? Miss.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to be rude. You gotta get through to him. It's very important I talk to him. It's an emergency.
Who's calling?
This is his lawyer.
Attorney?
Yes.
Okay, hold on, please.
Tony, the execution is off. Wow. Tony! Tony, the Supreme Court stopped it. Okay, now listen. They're going to take a look at the case we filed, and it's off for tonight. And I don't know when they're going to look at this. It's going to be another month or so, I think, but it's off for tonight, okay? All right, I love you too. Now you just,
I love you, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Right. Look. Okay. I'm going to make sure I call the governor right now, and I'll tell you, I got the Supreme Court's order in my hand. We're looking at it, and it's real.
Hey.
And what a fantastic day this has been. We've been up and down, but buddy, listen, why don't you call your folks and tell them what happened, okay?
Okay.
All right. And I'll come and see you tomorrow morning, like I said, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, Tony, good night. Bye. So the story has a happy ending.
Hello.
This is Gino, Tony's lawyer. Did you hear the news?
No, what?
We got the execution postponed. So tell Gwen and everybody else down there. We won for tonight.
This is Gino, y'all. He said they got the execution postponed.
They got the execution postponed.
They won for tonight.
But tonight, it's over.
The Supreme Court's going to look at the case now.
The Supreme Court's going to look at the case now.
The Supreme Court is finna look at the case. He talking to Gino on the phone.
Okay?
All right, gotcha.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The execution is off until they look into the case further.
Good, ain't he? You good, ain't he? Who's she talking to now? She calling Tony. You did, okay? You did. Tony say, Mama, I won. Yes, you did, baby. You did.
All right, we got to stay. Supreme Court. Who's going to call the prison and get this thing undone for tonight? The judge. Okay. All right, I'm not moving until I hear that that's all done, okay?
Girl.
dance. Do your dance.
Gino? Yeah.
Chris Bauman's on the phone.
I got to talk to the governor's rep. I'm sorry. Chris. Hey. They're standing down. Okay. All right, Chris. We'll be talking, I guess, huh? Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. They're standing down.
Hey! Gino! Come on with it.
Yeah, Gino! I got some love for you, baby! I got some love for you, baby!
Gino, nothing but love for you, baby! Nothing but love for you, baby!
They're happy.
Didn't I tell you? It ain't too late. Didn't I tell you? You did. I noticed that. Don't give up, Gwen. Don't give up.
At 10:10 p.m., we were advised by the Attorney General's office that the Supreme Court had issued a stay in Mr. Richardson's case. He will remain in the holding cell this evening, and then he'll be returned to his original cell or his normal cell tomorrow morning.
Come on in. We won.
You're lying.
No. Right. Listen, another important thing just happened. I got to go. But that should give you enough to go on.
Supreme Court.
Thank you. Bye. We got to stay.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe it? They granted a stay, and they're going to look at the cert petition. They're going to vote on the cert petition. Is that great? On the Penry issue. Is that great? Wow. Let's have a drink. Come on, let's open up a bottle of champagne.
The victim's witnesses actually came here probably about 15 to 20 minutes after we were notified by the Attorney General's office. So we were not sure whether they had heard on the radio or something as they were coming over. When they got here, we had our victim services coordinator greet them and take them inside so she could talk to them and answer any questions they might have about what occurred this evening.